Hello everybody, here is Liprandi and this is another Transformers story review. And by Transformers, this time I mean Transformers Generation 1, the first storyline released about those characters. The one you see here is Transformers HEADMASTERS Decepticon SKULLCRUNCHER, released in 1987 by HASBRO and by TAKARA in Japan. The main gimmick of the Headmaster subline was to get two transforming figures. The bigger one that turned into the body of a robot, while the smaller one, known as their Nebulon partner, turned into the head of the same robot. The one you see here, SKULLCRUNCHER, is obviously a Decepticon being a purple and green crocodile, but if you want to be sure, we can use his rub sign here, those color changing stickers that when rubbed with your fingers could reveal the symbol of the faction. Here we have a Decepticon symbol, but with a name like SKULLCRUNCHER, what else could it be? As a side comparison, we can see SKULLCRUNCHER next to some other Transformer from his era, like Rod Grabber here. They are both pretty big figures. Or, for a more recent and more accurate comparison, we can see SKULLCRUNCHER next to the Wadiel class Drift from Transformers Robots in Disguise, and as you can see, it was a much bigger, much heavier figure. Of course, it was also much simpler in construction, but you can see the size is significantly different. Anyway, we can now focus on SKULLCRUNCHER. We can see he's got the cockpit in his head with the somewhat clear canopy here. There are some scuffs on mine because it is an old figure, but you can also tell that this window is clear, it's transparent. It's smoky and dark, but you can see something through this. And inside his head we have his Nebulon partner Grax, which was a character depicted as some kind of a ruthless businessman in the comic books, I think. The construction of the Headmaster minifigure is quite usual. We have tiny legs that can bend forward and at the knees, but that's mainly for transformation. And the arms, which look like separate pieces, cannot be moved anyway. We can also see that on the shoulders of the minifigure we have some curious tabs, which will serve a second purpose in the transformation of the figure. Set Grax aside and focus on the crocodile, which has movable legs in the front if you want. They are on ratchets, but they can move, and that's it. The real legs cannot be moved at all. To transform the crocodile, remove the gun from his paw, which just made him even more menacing. And now we can start removing the tip of the tail and set it aside. It will become a sword for the robot. Split the remaining portion of the tail in half and fold the halves to the sides, like so. We can now unfold the legs of the bigger robot, like so, and rotate the figure here at the waist. Now, this will become a pretty big figure, about, I would say, over 6 inches tall, so I need to back the camera up a little bit and higher the picture. Raise the picture like so. I hope this is enough. Now we can rotate his shoulders here, fold down the paws and bend the legs here to form elbows for our figure. This is one, and here is the other one. These are pretty strong ratchets, so be careful. You don't want to break a toy that hold. We can now fold the head of the crocodile backwards. It will just hang on the back of the figure. And this is an headless robot. We can now take Grax here, fold him in half like so, and flip a panel on his back to reveal a robot's face. Let's see it closer. There you have it. A pretty cool looking robot face, by the way. We can now focus, okay, and snap Grex onto the body of Skullcruncher to have a complete Decepticon robot, which is pretty cool. And by plugging the head onto the shoulders, we also revealed the stats for this figure, because this was the second figure in the Headmasters line, and I loved it because with the first wave of Headmasters you could swap the heads and read different stats on their chests. Skullcruncher here is not very fast, but he is very strong and pretty intelligent, by the way. This was a neat gimmick. Anyway, as far as articulation goes, we can move his shoulders forward and back, again on ratchets, both of them. You can bend the elbows if you want, and the knees, but for no reason, because he cannot move his legs. You can also, if you really want to, rotate his waist a little bit. We can now give him his weapons, which were this light gray gun. Come on, here's one. And use his tail as some kind of a sword with a saw blade in the front. Very dangerous looking. And this is it. Pretty nice G1, very G1-esque transforming toy. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Ciao!